right, we are live. We are live. I just watched the shelf cloud go right over Memphis, Tennessee, by the way. Let me see if anything else is loading in. I know we're gonna have to use all of these. We're gonna watch this POV first because this is the look how blue the sky is. Look how fast the shelf cloud's moving in. By the way, that's that camera right there. The shelf cloud just moved into there. We have multiple tornado warnings right now. We have 5 of them. I'm pretty sure. Yep, we have 5 different tornado warnings. One of them is a supercell thunderstorm over here in Jackson, Tennessee. This area has a pretty decent area of rotation, but nothing too intense yet. Let's hope that let's hope that stays that way. But we have a huge line of severe thunderstorms moving into the Memphis, Tennessee area. Memphis, you guys are going to see very strong straight line damaging winds in excess of 70 to maybe even 80 miles per hour in some places. So destructive winds is definitely not without the question here. Dude, you're definitely gonna see some destructive winds with this. And like I said, I know this is like a random live stream. It's not random, but it's I didn't give any warning about going live or what time I was going live, but this is when I'm going live and I'm going live now. We also have multiple flash flood emergencies, one in Arkansas and one up here in northern Arkansas as well. This is a pretty widespread damaging outbreak of just severe weather in general. I mean, it's been going on for days now. It's just exhausting severe weather that's just been happening nonstop, just complete nonstop. So we gotta we gotta get this word out to as many people as possible. Like I said, your straight line damaging winds is gonna start kicking in here in a moment because I mean, look at that. It's already turned blue. Your winds are probably gonna start picking up here. When they start picking up, we'll probably zoom in on the Tennessee camera here. There is another shelf cloud. We might use this camera instead. Yeah. What camera is this? This is the, what camera is that? Wow, look at that lightning strike. This is the Jackson, Tennessee camera. We'll take that away for right now. We'll move this one up one, because like I said, where Memphis is getting hit pretty hard here, and I'm gonna show you guys what's gonna be happening at Memphis if you guys don't take shelter, honestly, because you guys definitely need to take shelter for this storm. This storm right here is producing some very strong straight line damaging winds. Insane looking shelf cloud along with it as well. Memphis is starting to get hit pretty hard here, actually. Let me see what's going on there. Yeah, there's your straight line damaging winds right there. Man, these are some strong storms right here, y'all. These are some very strong storms. You also have a moderate risk of severe weather, by the way, too. Like, just so you guys know. I guess I know this is a pretty random stream. Or not random, but like I know this came out of nowhere. I didn't give you a warning when I was going to go live. I didn't even do a daily morning video, which I apologize for. But I was just not feeling good yesterday, y'all. And I think it's because I needed rest. I was up, I came home from school and started live streaming. That's not healthy for you and stuff. So I had to, I had to take breaks at some point. But good thing yesterday wasn't an extreme severe weather outbreak, but there definitely was a lot of flash flood emergencies and definitely a lot of tornado warnings yesterday. And I was kind of unfortunate that I wasn't going to be able to be live for all that. But like I said, I was feeling very sick, and it's unhealthy for me to be live for that long. But I'm okay today. I have energy, and I'm able to stay alive today. So that's all that matters. So I'll be live here for probably an hour or two, covering the severe weather event, because we are expecting significant, strong, potentially long-track tornadoes today in some areas. So we got to, once again, be weather aware, especially if you're in the open warm sector area. You see these storms right here? You got to watch these storms carefully, because these storms can produce strong, long-track tornadoes today. You do have a moderate risk all the way up here. This is mainly driven by straight line damaging winds, but your tornado risk is also very high up here too. So we definitely got to really keep in mind about this severe weather risk. Let's actually see if anybody's in the chat right now. Hey, yep, we got Vinny. What's good, Vinny? But yeah, like I said, this is a straightforward stream. I know I went live randomly, but this is the only way to go live, honestly. So yeah, oh boy, yeah, look at that shelf cloud coming in there. So the shelf cloud is starting to become visible, and I think, is it this camera? Yep, it's this camera. Look at this right here, y'all. That's your shelf cloud. Look how ominous that looks going over the trees. That is what you call a shelf cloud, and that's gonna be moving right over the Bartlett area, north and east of Nashville, Tennessee, or not Nashville, Memphis, Tennessee. Sorry. Like I said, you guys in Bartlett, this is what you're gonna experience here. Straight line damaging winds. Very strong straight line damaging winds, actually. So you're going to experience that here in a moment. Same thing with this camera as well, too. Millington, you're already experiencing this. The National Weather Service over here, you're already experiencing this. A lot of straight line damaging winds with this. Let's zoom into this camera. As you can see right here, big straight line damaging wind risk right here. Doing some big damage, possibly. So we're going to be really, really careful with that storm. And that's just a one. That's just all in one storm. This storm over here in Jackson, Tennessee. You guys, this is a tornado warning for you guys over here. And if we were to zoom into this camera, you don't see an area of rotation, not yet at least. But this is if there were to be an area of rotation, it'll be something like this. Your hook will be something like that. But we're not seeing that strong of a rotation area, so we probably won't possibly see a tornado. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not going to jinx myself because it's been a crazy past couple of days here. We have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning for the south part of Memphis. Let's actually zoom into the Barlett camera because it's looking quite crazy. That shelf cloud came in really fast, actually. Wow. How long do you think these storms will last? They can last for another couple of days, if I'm being honest. It's been almost a week since these storms has been just going nuts here. This could definitely just become probably the longest term storm event I've ever covered, if not I have covered. But right now, currently, we have 5 tornado warnings and multiple destructive severe thunderstorm warnings, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, geez, look at that. Look how fast the shelf cloud's moving over the camera. Your winds are going to pick up here significantly over here in Barlett, Tennessee, north and east of Memphis, Tennessee. So that's just something to really point out there. We still have a considerable damage threat tag with that storm. Let's zoom into this because this is looking concerning over here. A little bit of a rotation with that storm. Yeah, all these cameras are going to be watching all these cameras. Look at this. The Arlington camera. That's, are they facing it? They are facing the shelf cloud. I think that's the shelf cloud right there. We'll zoom into that camera soon as well. You can see right here, the winds start to pick up a whole lot here. Let's what's this camera right here? This is the bottom camera. Okay, yeah, we're going to keep that up too. Because that's where your line's going to move in at as well. I mean, this is what your line is looking like. This is a very strong straight line wind event that's unfolding right now in Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis, you guys can't catch a break, unfortunately. I feel bad, honestly. This is just a very, very long, rainy, stormy week for you guys, and it's unfortunate. It really is. And I honestly feel bad because it's just like nobody can catch a break here. Nobody. We have the next update on these storms, and I mean it's still packing a punch right now. Still packing a big punch. I mean look at how much strong winds there are in this storm right here. Very strong storms moving in. But yeah, your major tornado threat will be mostly down here. I know there's a 15% area, hatched area for tornadoes up here, but I think that's going to be QLCS driven or a quasi-linear convector system, which means a line of storms or tornadoes embedded in a line of storms. That's going to be your major threat up there. But down here, I'd say you have a better chance of more isolated supercells popping up down here in near Vicksburg, Jackson, Yazoo City, Lake Providence, and stuff like that in Mississippi and Louisiana. So honestly, if you're down here in Mississippi, I'd honestly be worried about more of a stronger tornado threat rather than a straight line damaging wind threat, in my opinion, only because of how the environment is down here and how the models have been showing, the supercells pop up in these areas. So if you're down there south of the moderate risk, I feel like your tornado threat is a little bit higher down there, only because, they're, or at least your strong tornado threat's higher, at least down there. Your tornado threat is high up here as well, but I'm not expecting giant monster significant wedge tornadoes moving through areas. Maybe QLCS strong tornadoes, but I'm not expecting wedges to move through. So that's a good thing at least, but still a bad thing. You're still you're going to have a straight line damaging wind threat in this area regardless. But oh yeah, that's moving in now. This is the Barlett camera. Let me see here. Arlington, you're next to get hit by this too as well. So if you guys are wondering where these cameras are at, all around Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis is right here in this area. So if you're wondering where that's at, that's where it's at. And you just have multiple tornado warnings. I mean, you have tornado warnings in Dyersburg, Jackson, Tennessee. Memphis, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning, so you should be in your safe spots, regardless whether there's a tornado warning or not. All the way down there to Arkansas near Dumas and Winchester and stuff like that, north and east of Monticello, Arkansas. I will look at the models real quick because I haven't looked at the models yet for the severe weather risk today. So let's pull it up. There we go. Let's pull it up right here. I just want to see real quick what the models are showing for down here in the south, because I think down here in the south has a greater chance of significant tornadoes today, if I'm being honest. You fast forward this is around 1 p.m., 2 p.m. Yeah, around 3 to 4 p.m. you're gonna have more of a supercell threat down here in Tennessee. Let's actually zoom into that real quick. Boom! Look at right here. See that? Keep fast forwarding this. I mean, you have multiple storms popping up down here in Mississippi. I'm probably not gonna be live around 11 p.m. tonight. It depends on what happens. I mean, yeah, you have multiple line segments. You have multiple broken up lines of storms that's popping up down here that may produce strong tornadoes in the future. So if you're down here in Mississippi, honestly, all the way into the overnight hours, I would expect some tornado warnings to be exact, happening down there. Because right now that's not happening. There's no, actually there are storms popping up down here right now. These storms later on could definitely be potent and definitely could cause tornado warnings all down here. All these little storms, you see these little specks of storms. Look, I mean, look at this one right here. This one's getting that curved shape already. All these little storms down here needs to be watched carefully because those are the ones that would produce your strong tornadoes in the future. What are we down to? We're down to 3 tornado warnings now. So today is not going to be as active as yesterday. That's one thing. Well, actually, that's not true. I think today may be as active and a little bit more active. Now that I think about it, because your scroll line is going to be packing a punch here. And you have more of a better setup down here as well, too, than what was up here in this region. It was more of a messy mode. Down here is more of a broken up line discrete mode from the looks of it. Man, these radars are just getting pummeled right now. It's unfortunate. I mean, look at this. Look how strong these winds are down here. Do you see these high velocities right there? These are your strong straight line winds. I wouldn't be surprised if some areas would see 90-mile-per-hour winds today from this line of storms over here, because just look how potent it is. It's just very potent. It's a very potent line of storms. Very, very potent straight line damaging winds with this. I wouldn't be surprised if they issue another destructive severe thunderstorm warning, which is like 80 to 90 miles per hour. That's gonna be your wind gust down here, and then down here in this area, I think they have a tornado watch down here if I'm not mistaken. Let's check that actually. Real quick, there we go. No, that was for yesterday. Let me go over here. Reset that. Boom. Okay, so they do have a tornado watch over here. You have a moderate risk for EF2 plus tornadoes and a high risk for tornadoes in general in this watch. Moderate wind, severe wind, and then low 65 plus knot wind. I think that's, I wouldn't put that as low. I think there's a high chance, honestly, for 65 miles or 65 plus knots wind to happen down here. Hail is moderate. Severe hail is also moderate. 2+ inches in diameter. Did they issue a? They did not. So the southern part of Mississippi, you're not under a tornado watch yet, but that's going to change in the future. Yeah, this area down here, you're going to go under a tornado watch here in the very near future, just because of how the storms are going to be today. If you guys are wondering what your risks are today, this is your risk factor today. This is your moderate risk of severe weather. It's a very small moderate, but you still have your 15% area of significant tornadoes. Once again, I mean, nothing has changed, honestly. It's just been a very, look at that, 45 hatched area for straight line damaging winds, and a hail risk, a very large hail risk in this area as well. I mean, it just doesn't stop, y'all. Doesn't stop. And I think this is where it calms down. You still have a tornado risk for tomorrow, but it calms down significantly, which is great, because we do not want any more severe weather events. I'm done. I don't want to go live anymore. I'm joking. I'm gonna go live if there's any severe weather events, but I'm tired. Okay, I think everybody's tired that's doing live streams for severe weather. It's been really active, too active actually. So this is your day 1 convective outlook. Moderate risk once again. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, I think we just had another new tornado warning if I'm not mistaken. No, that's no one. Yep, they took that away. Yep, took that away. I'm not seeing much of a tornado threat with that storm anymore in Jackson, Tennessee, which is good. We are going to go down here and see what these storms down here are pretty potent as well. We're going to watch these storms on this radar right here. Yeah, look at that. Radar indicator rotation near Winchester. This could definitely try to produce a tornado here in the future, a QLCS tornado. Oh man, yeah, look at that. Look at all these little storms popping up in front of the line. It's not what you want to see. Not what you want to see. Big time severe weather outbreak unfolding right now. A lot of straight line damaging winds. Man, like I said, we got to watch this area down here as closely as possible. This area I'm circling right now has the biggest threat for long track tornadoes today, if I'm being honest with you guys. Also, look at the camera right here in Tennessee. We gotta watch that one now. We can watch that one like pull in here. I think this is this camera right here. Yep. What is this town called? Collierville, Tennessee. That is your storm pulling in right over here right now. Gotta watch that one. Did it just say catastrophic? What? Oh no, because it's considerable. I was about to say, whoa. That was a catastrophic severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah, this is big time damaging wind risk. What about this camera down here? Let's check this camera real quick. Oh man, yeah, look at that. Let's pull that one out. Put this one up here. Put that one right here. Yep. We're actually going to zoom in on this because this is going to be a interesting thing to watch. But no disrespect, like, I know you're trying to do your stream, but why don't you read our comments? Well, if you have a bunch of warnings, I can't really read comments. Like, that's not the most important thing to do. Is honestly, it's not to read comments. It's to help people and get information out to as many people as possible, as fast as possible. If you have like 30 tornado warnings, like I did the other day, I'm not gonna read the comments only because it's too active. It's you know, I can't just stop in the middle of like a you know extreme outbreak and start reading comments to you guys. I gotta concentrate. Unless your comment is extremely serious and you know you need information about something, then like yeah, I'll probably read them out. But like other than that, I can't read out comments when there's like a humongous tornado on the ground doing catastrophic damage or something in an area. So that's why I don't read my comments like that on, you know, especially like if there's a severe weather outbreak like what we're having right now. Like that's why I don't read my comments like that, because I don't want to just stop in the middle of a huge storm like this one right here and just, you know, just ignore getting the information out to as many people as possible, if you know what I mean. So like I said, I'm sorry if you guys are like mad at me for not reading comments, but like I mean I can't just stop and just, you know, stop in my track to read your comments in the middle of a tornado, you know, going through a town. I gotta get this information out. I gotta help people out. It helps a lot of people out actually. So yeah, I gotta do that. Saving lives is more important than reading comments. I'm sorry, it is. So yeah, if you guys are tuning in right now, we're watching a live camera right now of the storm that's in Memphis going into, I think it was Collierville, Tennessee. You can see that shelf cloud very clearly here on this camera. It's gonna be looking pretty ominous as it goes on through. So that's what we're watching right now. It's looking pretty active already. I mean, you still have multiple tornado warnings. I think you have one now. No, we have two. You have two tornado warnings, so it's not as active, which is really good. We don't need it to be super active because we want it to be chill. Because I honestly, I don't feel like covering 20 tornado warnings again like we did the other day. I mean, that was unbelievable. Like I said, that outbreak was insane. But today is looking like more of a huge damaging wind threat up here for Tennessee. And I think later on today, later on down here in Mississippi, you're going to see your strong tornadoes later on today, I'm pretty sure. I think that's when your threat starts to increase a whole lot more. So we definitely got to keep an eye on that one. But right now we are going to be watching this live camera because the storm is going to be moving on through pretty quickly here, actually. It's going to hit this live camera here really soon. So let's watch this one and let's see what happens here. Because that is a big squall line. big shelf cloud moving in. Yeah, it's a big storm. Yeah, if you guys are just tuning in right now, you can see on the screen right now there's a pretty well-defined shelf cloud moving in. And this shelf cloud actually has tornado warnings along the line as well. So if you're in this warning over here, any severe thunderstorm warning, it doesn't even have to be a tornado warning. Yeah, they're moving the camera now. If you're under a severe thunderstorm warning, you need to be in shelter because this is what you're going to expect here. You see that? That is not what you want to see. That is what you call a shelf cloud, and that is going to have some very strong straight line damaging winds in excess of 70, maybe even greater miles per hour in a lot of areas. And this is actually an observed severe thunderstorm warning. This is an observed severe thunderstorm warning. So you're expecting 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts confirmed by this storm right here. So the storm is coming in to the eastern parts of Memphis, Tennessee, near like Oakland, Somerville, Wilson, Russellville, Collierville, Moscow. Those areas, you guys need to be in shelter now because this storm is coming in pretty fast, and this is going to cause a lot of damage, a lot of wind damage, specifically actually for this area. So you really gotta be aware of that. And we have another tornado warning down here actually, so we're gonna actually investigate that. So let's check this one out real quick. We have a new tornado warning down here in the Arkansas Mississippi border. Oh man, yeah, that is not what you want to see. That is that's a pretty tight area of rotation. Let's actually do dual mode right here real quick. So if you can see down here on the bottom south of the camera, you can see there's a pretty tight area of rotation down here in Arkansas, and this is definitely going to try to produce a tornado here in a moment if it isn't already. I mean, this is moving right towards Watson in Arkansas, and as soon as it's going to move into Gunningson, Duncan, sorry, Alligator, and then Clarksdale in Mississippi. Sorry. So if you guys are down there, you guys need to be in shelter now because you have a pretty potent storm that's trying to produce a tornado here. So we got to really watch this one real careful here because this definitely could produce a strong QLCS tornado here at any moment, at any point in time, if it's not doing that right now. So we really got to take this one seriously. Like I said, it's a big mesoscale convective system producing strong straight line damaging winds and even spin up tornadoes along the line. So we really got to watch this one carefully. You can't see much on reflectivity, but when you look at velocities, you can see very well here that there is a pretty tight area of rotation. Let me circle this for you guys. This area right here is what we got to watch carefully because that could be your tornado developing right now. So we got to watch this one really carefully here, y'all. If you guys are just tuning in, we're watching number one, a storm moving on the top of your screen right here, and moving in to the eastern parts of Memphis, Tennessee. You can see there's a pretty well pronounced shelf cloud moving in here. This is causing confirmed straight line damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, if not even greater than that. And then you also have multiple tornado warnings down here in Mississippi that's unfolding as well. I think you got up to 3 warnings now. So let's change that. Yep, we're up to 3 tornado warnings over here, and in this region right here. So we gotta get this word out to as many people as possible. We gotta be in shelter. Yep, 3 different tornado warnings right now. So we really got to take this storm seriously, especially if you're in the Memphis area, because that is not a nice looking shelf cloud. That's not a nice looking storm at all. If I'm being honest with you, that's a very ominous looking storm. So you guys definitely don't want to be in this area, especially when you have a monster shelf cloud moving in like this. Don't want to be in this area. But man, that is wow, look at that. Look how fast it's moving in too. This is moving in pretty fast here. Yeah, look at that. You can see your straight line damaging winds right here. All this high pitched reds right here, if that's even a thing. But all these reds right here, this is your strong winds right here. This is where your 60-mile-per-hour wind gust is probably at. Yep, right down over here. Wow, look at this camera. It's about to get clobbered by this. What camera is this? This is a, yeah, that's that camera. What is this camera down here? This must be this one, right? Has to be, yeah. Wow, you can see the shelf cloud pretty well down here too. So look at that, you have the shelf cloud in two different angles right here. Two different angles. Jeez. Yeah, look how fast that's moving. Fast moving shelf cloud right there. Let's go back down here to our tornado warning. Still got an area of rotation here. You got your greens moving towards the radar, reds moving away. Right in the middle is your rotation. Right in here, it's gonna be moving right towards Watson. So if you're in Watson, I'd definitely be in shelter if you aren't already. I mean, you should be in your shelter since the tornado warning got issued. Gunningson, Rosedale, Shelby, Duncan, Alligator. You guys might as well get in shelter as well because this storm is not going to just randomly die off as soon as it crosses the state border. You guys are going to get hit by this as well, so you might as well just take shelter because this is a tornado warning storm, and this is probably going to get extended for another tornado warning here for you guys in Mississippi. So just honestly, just start taking shelter now, especially if you're in like Clarksdale, Alligator, Duncan, Shelby, Winstonville, Mount Bayo, Gunningson, and Rosedale. You guys need to just get in shelter because there is a strong storm that has the capability of producing a tornado here. So you need to get in shelter now. Shelf cloud is about to move right over the camera, actually. You can see how fast the storm is moving. Look at that. It's blue. It's blue in there. A lot of rain with this storm. A lot of heavy rain. That's also producing your flash flood threat. We do have multiple flash flood emergencies right now, which is unfortunate. We're going to actually talk more about those here in just a moment, but it's getting pretty significant out there. Yeah, oh man, look at that. Yeah, your winds are starting to pick up here. Camera's starting to shake a little bit. I mean, this area has some of the strongest winds right now. Where our camera's at, this is gonna be some strong winds. Yeah, look at that. Look at your tree starting to move a little bit here, start to sway. So you're definitely gonna get some tree damage with this area. Man, I'm first fighting the tornado right now. Yeah, it's wild. It's been a wild couple of days, if I'm being honest with y'all. We're down to 2 tornado warnings now. 2 warnings. There's a lot of straight line winds with this right now. And we're not even in the storm yet. It's already windy. Look at that. Trying to see if down here is also getting windy. Yep, it's also getting windy down here. I'm going to continue to watch this camera because it's shaking a lot here. Yeah, that is some strong winds moving in. If you guys are just tuning in right now, we have a severe thunderstorm with 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts confirmed, actually. Moving over this camera right now. So we're trying to see if we can see. I mean, you can see the waves in the water, I'm pretty sure, right here. Look at that. From the strong winds. Those are waves from the strong winds right here. That's how you know this is a strong, damaging windstorm. You're literally seeing waves from the water right here. This is going to be a strong storm, y'all. Moving on through. They're not even in the storm yet. Like, inside the actual damaging wind part. Yeah, but these trees are moving right now, though. I mean, you're just looking at the camera shake right now currently. Let's go down here next. Let's do the dual mode again, so you guys can see both the camera, live camera, and the radar here. Because I do want to show you guys the other areas that's at risk as well for severe weather. What camera should we use? Night camera. We should use this radar or this radar? Yeah, this radar is better. You have 2 areas of rotation now with this storm that I'm looking at here. 2 areas of rotation. Very strong straight line winds as well, too. Still waiting for your tornado threat to ramp up here. No debris signatures with these ones yet, but there's definitely multiple strong areas of rotation with these storms. And like I said, y'all, I'm going to be live for like maybe an hour or so, maybe an hour, 30 minutes. I'm not going to be live for too long. I'm going to go live again today, more than likely for this as well. But I'm probably going to be live for like an hour, then end the stream, then go live again. Because I am going to go out somewhere at some point. Thank you guys for tuning in now. Looks like the winds has calmed down actually, which is a good thing with this area. We don't need it to get active like that again, if I'm being honest. It's looking pretty calm right now. As I say, that's going to start getting extremely windy here. Let's hope that doesn't happen, but I don't know, man. These storms are just different. This week has been one of those stormiest weeks for the country I've seen in a long time. I mean, look how potent that line, that damaging wind threat is over here, though. Yeah, this circulation is moving right over Watson in Arkansas. So if you're in Watson, Arkansas, it's moving right over you right now. You guys need to be in shelter. Oh, log out of that. There we go. Okay, you see your flags moving down here. Let's go down here and check this storm out from this camera. Yep, not this camera. Radar. I'm getting cameras and radars confused right now. Sorry about that, y'all. But yeah, it's definitely starting to get a lot more active, at least with the damage we went through up here in the moderate risk area, which honestly, it's for a reason. It's the moderate risk area. It's going to get active up there. That supercell over here did die off, which is the good news on that storm, because that storm was definitely posing a major supercell threat or tornado threat with that at one point. Like, it would look like it was going to produce a strong tornado there at a moment, but it did not, which is good. But these storms down here are going to tell a different story, though. So we have a camera in Philadelphia, Mississippi. You can see, not a good sign. See this right here? Your sun is breaking through the clouds here. That means the atmosphere is destabilizing. Whenever you have your atmosphere destabilizing in an area that is expected to see severe weather, you could definitely get stronger storms and it potentially lead up to more stronger tornadoes later on in events like this. And as you can see, there's storms nearby, yes. But there's breaking the clouds though. So that's the only unfortunate part, that there is breaking the clouds with these storms. So that means your atmosphere will be destabilizing here. Let's check, 91 degrees. Look at that in Jackson, Mississippi. A little bit of breaks in the clouds with this one too. Not as much as where Philadelphia, Mississippi was. But man, this area needs to be watched very carefully here, in my opinion, because I feel like that this area is going to see more of a stronger tornado risk than what's going to be up here. in this region. So that's why I'm really just trying to like get ready to see what's going on with this down here. I guess you can call this like a more of a pre-stream. I want to call this a pre-stream because there is a lot happening right now with the storm over here. But I feel like the main threat hasn't even came yet. I feel like the main threat is starting to just brew up here in Mississippi and Louisiana. I feel like, yeah, like I said, the stronger threat for tornadoes is going to be down here in this area. So I'm surprised it didn't extend the moderate risk down into this area, because that is where I think the most, intense tornadoes, in my opinion, will pop up at. Especially with the most recent model runs with this. I mean, the 18Z is now starting to come out right now. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I mean, this is around 7 p.m. Eastern, so 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can see there's supercells popping up in front of the main line of storms here. I mean, you're going to have no storms, then boom, you're going to have supercells pop up here near Alexandria, Louisiana, Winfield, west of Natchitoches and stuff like that. Keep fast forwarding this, and you're going to have even more storms pop up here. You're going to have a broken line of storms. Look at that. Look at these storms down here. These could all pose a very strong tornado threat down here in this region later on today. Let's take a look at that on the other model run. Actually, the pivotal weather, because I like using pivotal weather for this, for like the HRRR model runs. Let's use 18Z. Let's use that, and let's just see. Let's just look at this, y'all. Just look at this real quick. This is around this time right now. You can see there's storms popping up. Nothing too crazy, but later, yeah, look at that. Let's actually do a sounding for this area down here. This is the area I'm concerned for. Yeah, you have a nice curved photograph for this, nice curved storm slinky. No cap in place, by the way. 80-degree temperatures, probably more than that. It said it was like 91 degrees down there. Your winds are going to be varying with time. Your winds are going to be moving due north or northeast, I would say. This is 850 millibar wind level right here. If you go to the 500 millibar winds, these are going to be moving more northeast. Your 850 millibar winds are going to be moving north-northeast. So you're going to have winds varying with height, and that's what's going to create your curved photograph over here. And that's what's going to cause your supercell and tornado threat that's down here. I mean, you can see it down here as well. And this right here, the wind barbs. These are wind barbs. What I'm talking about right here, these, where my mouse is at. You see where my mouse cursor is at? This is how you can tell if your winds are varying with height. And these lines are your different heights of, where your jet stream is at. It goes all the way up to like 200 or 100 millibar winds, all the way down to 850 millibar or 1,000 millibar winds, which is fairly close to the ground. 850 millibar winds is like 1 kilometer above the ground here. Just so you guys know now that now. I know I sound nerdy saying that, but that's what it's looking like right now. This is around 5 p.m. We're going to be live again if you do end the stream. We're going to be live again around 4 or 5 p.m. or 5 p.m. I would say for this area down here, because this area down here has a pretty substantial tornado threat in my opinion. I do think, yeah, look at that broken up line of storms. I do think the tornado threat is going to be a lot more substantial than what's going to happen up there, because up there is more of a messy line than down here. Down here is just going to be more of a isolated, broken up line of supercells that's going to pop up here. So that's my opinion on this. So we'll see what happens with this, but like that's my opinion. I do think down here has a more substantial tornado threat in my opinion, just because of how the threat is. We actually have a new tornado warning. We're going to have to look at that here in just a moment. Yeah, new tornado warning. Let's actually zoom in on this one. This is for an hour. Yeah, this is for the areas I called out before, so let's actually go to that. Boom. Also, as you can see, Duncan, Gunnison, Shelby, I'm going to say you're in that. Alligator, you guys need to be in shelter now. We have a tornado warning down there. This is for following counties, Belvidere County and Mississippi, northwestern Mississippi. So if you guys are in that county, you need to be in shelter right now, because we have a strong straight line damage going threat, along with a tornado threat now with this as well. That's going to be moving on through in this area. So you guys definitely need to be weather aware for this one. Strong damaging winds is going to get you if the tornado doesn't. So we got to really take, in consideration of taking shelter here. Because if the tornado doesn't get you, the winds will get you. Yeah, look at that. A lot of open areas. You have another severe thunderstorm warning for Greenville, Mississippi now. North of Rolling Fork and stuff like that. For straight line damaging winds. Honestly, that's not a bad warning at all. That's a pretty reasonable warning. Yeah, this entire area, and oh wow. Well, Memphis, Tennessee is now under a flash flood emergency now. Radar indicated. So it's not confirmed, but there's now a flash flood emergency now. So if you're in Memphis, Tennessee, you guys are under a flash flood emergency. The entire area of Memphis, Tennessee is under a flash flood emergency. So anywhere, if there's any creeks, streams, rivers, ponds, doesn't matter what it is overflowing more than likely of just constant rain that's going to be happening. And it's not going to stop anytime soon. You're going to continue to have a lot of rain in this area. I mean, yeah, look at that. You're going to continue to have more rain in this area, so you're going to have some extreme flooding in this area. Potentially catastrophic flooding. Okay, so if you're in Memphis, Tennessee, please heed these warnings over here because flooding threats going to be very significant here. I mean, if we're to take a look at downtown Mississippi or Nashville, not Nashville, Memphis. I keep getting that mixed up. It's still currently raining and it's not going to stop, which is unfortunate. Honestly, it's unfortunate. Flash flood has been a really dangerous thing for the past couple of days here. So if you guys are up here in Memphis, Tennessee, you need to be weather aware. Get on higher grounds if you have to. Like I said, if you're anywhere near creeks or streams, I honestly would just be on the lookout for extreme flash flooding over here. Especially, like I said, in the entire Memphis metro area needs to be on high alert for significant, possibly even catastrophic flash flooding. Hey, what's up? The Woodlands, Texas look like? Woodlands, Texas. Let's look that up real quick. I think you guys over here in Texas, you guys are pretty safe here. I mean, if you're in Eastern Texas, actually, let me check you guys real quick. Woodland, Texas. Let me look that up. There you guys go. Woodland, Texas. So if you guys are up here in Woodland, Texas, you guys actually had your severe weather threat yesterday. You guys are pretty safe over here in Woodland, Texas. So if you're in a Woodland, Texas area, you're good. Your severe weather is done. I don't think you're going to see any more stronger storms in a while. You guys are pretty safe, which is a good thing because you guys had some pretty strong storms yesterday. Yeah, your threat has moved significantly farther to the east into like Mississippi and stuff, into the Dixie Alley region. Jeez, man, this is not good. You have a huge bow echo, big bow echo storms. Whenever you get this big bowing shape, backward C shape, let me highlight this for you guys. Whenever you get this big backward C shape, that means your winds are literally forcing the precipitation to look like that. It's that strong of a wind threat with this storm. So Jackson, Tennessee, you're not out with the question here with this damaging wind threat because man, it is posing a huge damaging wind threat. I also have another severe thunderstorm warning. I think this is because of the rotating atmosphere with this storm near Hurtington. I think is how you say it. You can see it right here. Wow, look at that. You can see it fairly well here. Huntington, not Hurtington, sorry, Huntington, and Clarksburg as well. So you have severe thunderstorm warnings heading towards just far west of Nashville. So don't worry about that if you guys are in Nashville. But yeah, big storms moving on through there. So have a very strong damaging wind threat with this storm. You didn't even get your line to form down here. I mean, your line is starting to form down here, but it's not as potent as up here. Up here, it's just a huge line of severe thunderstorms causing a lot of damage. That's what I said. You guys down here in Louisiana and Mississippi are going to see a substantial tornado threat later on because of how there's no storms interacting with this besides these small little storms over here. But these storms actually might turn into the supercells and that tornado threat that's going to happen later. So I think we have 2 warnings now. Yeah, we have 2 warnings. So there's 2 warnings right there. gonna watch this radar playthrough. Actually, we're gonna use velocity for this. But yeah, if you guys are just tuning in right now, we have multiple live cameras up of where the flash flood emergency is at with this storm. We have another severe thunderstorm warning, and I mean that's honestly reasonable for this storm. It's a huge big bow echo of storms. We're actually gonna change the cameras here in a moment. Yeah, actually we're gonna change the cameras here. We're gonna change all the cameras here because we have another storm moving in. Oh my goodness, look at that. Yeah, let's move this camera to like right over here. Boom, we can zoom in on these cameras a little bit here. Let's get one in Jackson, Mississippi, or not, sorry, Mississippi, Jackson, Tennessee. I'm putting my Jacksons in, Mississippi and Tennessee mixed up a lot here because it's been so active. That's a shelf cloud. That's an insane looking shelf cloud. Actually, I want to zoom in on that. Is that a shelf cloud? Holy moly, y'all. That is a shelf cloud. Look at that. Look at this shelf cloud, y'all. Wow, look at that. They're even moving around. You can see the lightning striking with this too. Jeez, look at this shelf cloud. Look how elongated that is. See how this like looks weird right here? You see how it looks like an ocean? The ocean's right there. That's your shelf cloud. That's just how blue the sky is. It looks insane from this camera. Wow. So that storm's gonna be moving in fairly soon here. And same thing over here in Jackson, Tennessee, and up here as well, over here near Henderson, Tennessee, and Bolivar in Tennessee. You guys need to be in shelter now. You have a very potent line of storms moving on through with 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts possible. At one point, this was confirmed that there were 60 and 70 mile per hour wind gusts with these storms. Further down to your south, you do have your tornado warning still ongoing here for the next 56 minutes for over here, in Mississippi and Arkansas. You have areas of rotation right here, embedded areas of rotation. This actually might tighten up a little bit more, so we got to watch this one fairly carefully. And that's why they extended this warning for Duncan, Alligator, and Gunningson and Mississippi, because they think that there is a more substantial threat of a tornado here and more evidence of a tornado here in Arkansas moving into Tennessee, or Mississippi, sorry. But back up here, your damaging wind risk is just unbelievable. It's insane. I mean, just look at it from here. Look at the shelf cloud. Insane looking shelf cloud. They're actually zooming in on it. Wow. Vision's getting blurry because of the rain. That's okay though. It'll probably fix itself here. This is live camera. Look how cool that looks. Look at the sky. Sky over here just looks insane. Starting to get severe thunderstorm warnings near Nacogdoches in Louisiana. I mean, just some of the storm structures that I'm seeing with this this line of storms is just amazing. Like, it looks so cool. Besides like the scary damaging wind threat with this, it looks so cool to just watch. I mean, they're turning the camera right here. They're trying to see. So yeah, if you guys are in these areas, you gotta definitely be in shelter. All right, Joe. Like I said, I told you guys I am gonna have to end the stream at some point here. I'm gonna start up a new one though. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna start up a new one for the storms that's gonna happen later on. But this is more of like a warm up stream. Since I did do a morning video, I've been streaming for basically an hour now. Like I said, I'm gonna start up a brand new stream for you guys talking about the substantial tornado risk that's gonna unfold here later on, especially down here to the south, in this area, because I think the storms just haven't fired up yet down here yet completely. So we'll watch these very carefully. But I am going to end the stream and start a new one up after I'm done eating, because I'm about to eat dinner, and I don't think you guys want to watch me eat and talk at the same time. So I would, like I said, I will set up a new stream here within the next like maybe 30 minutes to an hour or so, talking about the substantial tornado threat down here, because I do think down here is going to see an increase of action, because right now it's not active down here, but there will be an increase of action down here. So if you guys have any questions, let me know real quick, real fast before I leave. And like I said, if you have any questions, I'll be coming back as well. I'll be coming back on the stream. It's just as of right now, for like the next 30 minutes, I won't be streaming, because I'll be eating dinner and stuff. But so yeah, I'm gonna catch you guys if you have any questions. Still got that tornado warning ongoing now. So if you're in Duncan, Gunnison, and Alligator in Mississippi, you still need to be in shelter. All right, y'all. But yeah, I'm